Hello everybody, welcome back to Planet X News. It is September 29th, 2017. And ladies and gentlemen, over the course of the last 18 months, I've seen a lot of photographs, and I have taken a lot of photographs of the sun. And fellow Planet X investigator Jeff P. has been investigating what we refer to as the sun simulator. Now, we've both received a lot of criticism related to this topic. Jeff has done an exceptional job proving that there is definitely something in front of the sun. The world governments may possibly be using this device or these devices to shadow what we may see within our atmosphere, our skies. And I've uncovered a lot of information related to this topic. Going back to September of 2016, I received a photograph from a lady in San Diego, California, who was driving down, I believe it was Interstate 5, on her way into San Diego. She literally stopped on the side of the highway because she saw a disk rotating in the sky, a massive disk near the sun. She took a photograph of it. She sent it in to me, and I shared that information in a video that day. That began my thoughts and my theories that something is obscuring the sun. You know, folks, we don't have 100% proof, but we still keep coming up with very, very odd photographs. Photographs that we just can't explain. And yesterday, once again, for myself, I come up with some of these photographs. Now, me personally, I haven't photographed the sun in about a month or so. Yesterday, I decided to get out there at 5 p.m. and take some photographs, and lo and behold, I think I captured something again that, I just can't place my finger on. But I want to share the information with you. I want you to think with an open mind, and I'm going to show you what I captured, what I think I uncovered. And once again, ladies and gentlemen, we just add this information to the pile of evidence that we have in our investigations and our research into what we refer to as Planet X. So, let's just get right into this. Now, let me find the file first. Oh, here we go. Now, I also took some photographs of the moon last night, and they may have been overexposed, and we'll get to that later on. But I'm just going to start first with the actual photographs that I took. Go ahead and just blow this up a little bit. Now, none of these photographs have been touched. No color alterations, nothing. Now, folks, I'm not saying that any of these objects in the photographs that you're about to see are any type of planetary objects or Planet X or anything of that nature. We're going to be looking at possible lens flares and things of that nature. But what I want to show you is pretty intriguing. Now, the green anomaly up here, look, I have absolutely no idea what that might be. But I find the lens flaring very, very odd. And if you look right here at this half circle, and let's zoom into it. And I don't know if you guys can see very clearly, but it kind of has a little bit of a ridge inside, right there. But then I see this lens flare. And a lot of you see this in your photographs. And I hope that you can see all of the little inner lines, the little inner circles. Pretty interesting, don't you think? I wonder where that comes from. So let's take a look at the next picture. And I took a series of photographs, and we'll just move straight through these. Now, this photograph doesn't show much of anything. The off-colored green orb is kind of right over here. Really doesn't mean anything. We have our lens flare right over here to the lower right. Nothing in that picture. But then I took another picture about a minute later at a different angle. And lo and behold, I hope you can see these circular lines once again appearing in the lens flare bubble. Well, alrighty then. Again, the green orb up here is now a little more defined. Let's move on. In this photograph, the same thing starts to occur. These circular lines in a perfect pattern. Very, very odd. And then this secondary orb. It's almost like it is a reflection of something. And it's being cut off, as you can see, right here. Very mysterious. And then, whenever you're looking at the sun seems to be very white in the center, and then all around the edges where the corona should be, it's a totally different color. It kind of looks like a big flashlight, doesn't it? But I want you to remember these inner circular lines within this portion of the lens flare. You just keep those in mind. Now, once again, a few minutes later, here is another photograph, and again, you can see these circular lines, and they're kind of cut off in this lens flare. Now, back in September of 2016, myself and Jeff P., we were really researching this possible sun simulator. We took a lot of heat for it. People say, you're crazy, nothing like that could be in space. Well, listen, folks, here's the deal. We have absolutely no idea what the space agencies around the world are capable of doing, and we have absolutely no idea of their technology. Some say that the space agencies can possibly be 50, 60, or 70 years more advanced than what we actually know. So once again, keep this lens flare right down here. Keep this in mind. Now, took this photograph, and again, we can see this kind of rose petal look. And let's zoom in here a little bit so we can see it more clearly. And you could see the flaring behind the sun. Nothing too much in this photograph. And the same applies here with this photograph. You don't see too much other than the rose petal look. And let's just zoom in here. And that's about it. Kind of looks like a big flash bulb, flashlight. The next photograph kind of starts showing this large circular object right here. I don't know if it's an object, a reflection of an object. The same thing applies right here where my cursor is. Just some very odd things in these photographs. And then, right down here, you have your rogue planet in the trees. Just a joke, people. Just a joke. Let's move on. So, I decided to zoom in as far as I could because I was actually seeing this half circular object, or whatever it may be. I kept seeing it in the viewfinder, and it was not moving. Now, I was moving the camera back and forth, and this object wasn't moving. And you could see this inner line, this inner ridge. I don't know what it is. So I decided, okay, let's wait a few minutes. Let's take another picture. And then here it was. Once again, I want you to pay very close attention to this lens flare. Let's zoom in so you can see it. Now, clearly defined, you see these inner lines. It's almost like a spiral, but they are absolutely perfect. So we'll just back up a little bit. And once again, this portion of the lens flare is very odd. It's just very, very odd because it's not leaving the photographs. It's in every photograph at different time intervals. And again, here you can see this inner line, this inner ridge all along. And then I started noticing these little smaller objects all over the place in the photographs. And I really didn't get to analyze them, but they just look very odd. Don't know what they are, but they're there. And again, very, very odd photographs that I took yesterday. But this is what I'm concerned with. This is what I was tuning in my attention to right down here. And again, remember the design of what you're seeing right here. Now, once again, I think this is close to one of the last photographs. This lens flare down here became obscured. We have a little lens flare here. But again, this object seems to stay steadfast right there in all of the pictures in the same position. Let's look closer at it. Once again, you can see this inner ridge right here along the inside. And it makes me wonder, is this some type of a man-made object? Is it possibly being magnified? What is it? Again, another photograph taken a few minutes later, and I'm getting a little bit of a different effect. Now I'm getting a stretched out lens flare, which I've never even seen one of these before, kind of stretched out. And once again, here is this large pink object. Now, again, I'm not saying that's a planet because I don't think that it is. I think that it's possibly part of this the sun simulator system. Whatever is out there, it's just not natural. The photographs are not natural. Folks, I've been taking photographs of the sun and the sky for years. Back in 2005, I really started my investigation on chemtrails. And I was taking photographs every single day of chemtrails and the sky and the clouds. And I was flooding Facebook with it to alert people to what was going on. And I started seeing all kinds of weird anomalies in the sky. Specifically, when I was photographing near the sun, or the sun was actually in my picture. And I don't know if you could see this here, but this inner discoloration is perfectly circular. So it kind of makes me wonder what is really there. Now, this is what they refer to as a Fresnel lens or a Fresnel lens. The pronunciation is just however you want to pronounce it. The Fresnel lens or the Fresnel lens has been around for a very, very long time. It's actually used in lighthouses. And these lenses are very, very large. But these lenses have even been used in the tail lights of automobiles going all the way back to the 1950s. These lenses have many different applications. And as you can see here, one has been cut in half. Now, I've seen these lenses made of glass, and I've also seen them made of very, very crystal clear products like plexiglass. And they could be used for a multitude of reasons. But look at the shape. Do you notice the same shape? Let's go back. There you go. Same shape. Now, folks, the reason why they used those Fresnel lenses or Fresnel lenses in lighthouses is because it was a perfect lens to project light and spread the light from a small point within the lighthouse to a very, very wide view. So the light was able to cover a very wide distance. So ships were able to see it. It magnified the light. Now, here's another view of a Fresnel lens or Fresnel lens. Again, almost identical to what you've seen in my photographs. And this is old technology. So we're going to go ahead and jump to the next picture because I have a few more that I want to share with you. Now this is just, I picked this up off of the internet. And this is showing you how two lenses, one being either a concaved or a convex lens, and one of these Fresnel lenses. Do you see how it's constructed? And then if you remember what I told you to pay very close attention to in the photographs of the sun that I took yesterday on the 28th of September. Now it really makes you start to wonder, doesn't it? How could something like that appear in my photographs? Interesting. Here is a little bit of a cross-reference and a cross-section. I can't zoom any more than that. But this is what these lenses look like. And they're very easy to manufacture. And, folks, listen to this. You can cut these lenses into pieces. Now, I'm not talking about just disorganized pieces, but let's just say you can cut them up into halves, quarters, and eighths, similar to how you would slice a pizza. It would be very easy to transport into space in the cargo bays of the space shuttles, and then simply put them back together. Now remember, folks, I don't think that these are actually made of glass. I think they're possibly made of some other technology, a clear plastic similar to plexiglass. I don't know what material they would use. But once again, it gets your mind thinking, well, how does that appear in my photograph? And I'm not the only one on the face of this planet who has discovered this. But I am the first one to draw major attention to it, because I started seeing these objects like this constantly in my photographs and photographs that I was receiving from around the world. So let's move to the next photograph. Now here is a Fresnel or Fresnel lens lit up. Wow, look at that. Pretty amazing, doesn't it? Doesn't it look just like what we saw in my photographs? Take a good look at that. Now it really starts to make you wonder. You know, people around the world have been making statements about the sun, the brightness, how it illuminates, the area that you're in. It kind of looks like you're in a studio, or the light looks fluorescent. I noticed it yesterday. I've been noticing it for the last couple of weeks. But again, folks, we don't have 100% concrete evidence that a sun simulator exists. It's a theory. It's a big theory that a few of us have. We continue to work on it. I don't know if we will ever find 100% proof or evidence, but things are adding up. A lot of people ask about these rainbow clouds and these sun dogs, and why does the sun have a rainbow effect around it now? Well, this may be your possibility of the rainbow clouds and the reason why you see these rainbow effects in your pictures when you're taking photographs of the sun. It's a prism effect. When you're shining light through glass, well, this is what you're going to get. Everybody remembers, maybe in your 9th grade Earth Space Science class, experimenting with a prism. This may be the effect that we are seeing. Now, scientists call the clouds that are rainbow colored iridescent clouds. They blame it on some type of ice crystal technology. Yeah, right. But take a good look at that. This may be the answer. And remember, folks, we are dealing with space agencies that we don't know anything about. We know their names. We know they put rockets into space. Other than that, that's all we know. That's it. So we don't know exactly what they're doing up there, what they've placed up in our atmosphere, in space, in the sky. Now, once again, this is talking about the prism and the light. And this is a cross-section of one of those Fresnel lenses. And I'm not sure if this represents the sun or not. But it shows you as the light radiates from the disk, the effects that type of lens can produce. Directional light. Pretty interesting. So, folks, we're not just making wild and crazy claims. We've been investigating this for more than a year and a half. And the evidence is actually mounting in our favor. So yesterday, our temperatures went from a blazing 90 degrees all the way back down to 74 degrees with a very cool breeze blowing. As I was outside at 5 p.m. taking those photographs that you just viewed, the sun was burning my face, burning the skin on my arms. Even though there was a cool breeze, it was comfortable, but it was burning my face, burning my skin. And once again, it felt like the light from the sun was magnified. Now, you've all played with a magnifying glass and the sunlight, concentrating the sun into a little beam of light. to catch little pieces of paper on fire or, whatever. We've all done it. The technology is there. It's really not big-time scientific technology, but it can definitely happen. It can definitely happen. These scientists, these engineers, these technicians, we don't know exactly what they really do. And here's an actual Fresnel lens in a lighthouse. And they're huge. They're massive. So just take a look at it. And then you remember the pattern in the lens flare that I showed you in the beginning of this video. Now, I'm going to show you some inverted. Oh, here's another one real quick. This is an old lighthouse photograph. Could you imagine this thing in space, but maybe 100 times the size, 1,000 times the size? Folks, if they could put a space station up there, they can put one of these objects up there. Let's just face that. Pay very close attention as the light hits this object. Look very closely at the rainbow effect. Do you see the rainbow effect? Is this possibly the same rainbow effect that we see in the clouds and now being produced by our sun? Interesting. My job is to bring this information to your attention. Now, I inverted the photographs so I could get a better view of what was there. Well. Let's just take a look at this. Interesting. Interesting how that lens flare looks very, very similar to the Fresnel lens. Old technology possibly being used to fool us, to cloak the objects that we are investigating, or does the sun not have enough heat and energy to warm the planet? So therefore, they have to magnify it. We don't know. That's why we investigate. That's why we research. That's why the government trolling operations will not leave us alone. Because they can clearly see that we're on to something. Take a good, hard look at that. And that's not the only picture. Here it is again. I don't know if I spelled that or not, spelled that wrong or not. Fresnel, whatever. There it is. If you ask me, ladies and gentlemen, that is a dead-on balls match to one of those Fresnel lenses. I don't have a Fresnel lens in my camera. Think about it. How would that pattern appear in my photographs? Very interesting. And it didn't just appear in one, it appeared in many. Here's another one. Inverted. And there you go. Very interesting. I wanted to bring this all to your attention because we've not spoken about this sun simulator for quite a long time. Now, remember I was telling you how that object that wasn't moving had an edge on it. Well, here you can clearly see it's darker, It's clearly defined as an edge on whatever is in the sky, and being perfectly cut off in a straight line right across. Again, same thing. Let's take a good gander at this. How do those perfectly circular lines in a perfect pattern appear in my lens flare? And once again, the solid defined edge in whatever this object is, and being perfectly cut off. I don't know how this is happening, folks. Maybe between all of us we can figure it out. Maybe we won't. And again, here you go. Clearly defined edge in this lens flare, or is it a reflection of a lens? Who knows? Now there does look like a pretty solid spherical object right here, but nothing I could prove. Does look very odd, very suspicious. But I'm going to be working with these photographs a little bit more this afternoon, because I do see some things that I need to pay maybe a little closer attention to. But this was the information that I wanted to bring to you. I wanted to bring this information to open your mind a little bit. And once again, let's start drawing some attention to the possibilities of this sun simulator. What is cloaking the sky? You know, and one of my newly found friends and subscribers caught this photograph of the sun a few days ago. He inboxed it to me. Rick did a fantastic job capturing whatever this may possibly be. And here's the original. Okay, what in the heck is that? Almost perfectly rectangular. I mean, I've never seen anything like that. Very unusual. He inverted it, and there you go. So, what's the explanation on this? Oh, what, now we have square rectangular lens flares? What do you know? This is a fantastic capture by Rick. He did a good job. I'm still very disturbed about this photograph because I just have absolutely no explanation for what that is or what that can be. Is it part of the device? What is it? I've never seen a rectangular lens flare. Have you? I doubt it. And then once again, if you look clearly, the rainbow effect. All around. Even around the rectangular object. Pretty crazy looking. So it really makes you wonder, folks, what is really out there? What are they really doing? And why are they doing it? We have a lot of questions that need answers. That's why I do what I do. That's why many others that investigate Planet X, that is what we do. So from today on, I'm going to be taking, once again, my daily photographs of the sun, and I'm going to see what I capture each and every day. Now, I'm not going to put all of these photographs into a video and upload it every single day. I'm going to share the photographs on the Planet X News Facebook page. So, if you're not following the Planet X Facebook page, click on the link. It's in the description box under the video. get over there and start following that Facebook page, because I share a lot of information that I just don't put in videos and upload to YouTube. But once again, folks, very, very interesting photographs I took yesterday, clearly showing something that looks like a Fresnel lens that showed up in the lens flaring in my photographs. Very intriguing, very interesting, raising a lot more questions. A lot more. This is Scott from Planet X News and the Nibiru channel, September 29th, 2017. Thank you for watching.